Denzaya, come on, Denzaya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we coming. Yeah, you're coming, yeah. We coming. When the year is been checking you again, cause you go
And this is how we'd like to say welcome again to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line, the program that brings you information about Liberia and Liberians. We do discuss the issue from top to bottom, giving our analysis, though we may not be right, but we are not wrong either. And today we're going to do a special edition of the program, and that will be interesting. As usual, we do, first welcome our guests and our guest panelists as well as every other panelist. So tonight we are two. I will not say unfortunately, but we do not have Paul tonight. Paul is out tonight on an errand. Jima also is out tonight, but Mark Farr is in tonight from Sweden. And so, normally we have Paul from the UK, Jima from the UK, Mark from Sweden, and I'm from Norway. But tonight, it's going to be like a whole Scandinavian show because the two of us only, and the UK guys are out. We kick them out tonight. So let me say welcome to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brother Lim, for...
Yeah, good.
How's your day?
Yeah, great. My day was fun. How's your end in terms of weather and all this stuff?
Yeah, we had a nice weather yesterday.
Great.
It was a little bit rain yesterday and the day before, but the weather very nice. So we're getting the summer vibe around the corner.
Good.
Yeah, the summer in Scandinavia can be one of the most attractive areas to be.
Most attractive and the greenery. I was in Sweden a month ago, and it was like getting greener and greener.
Yeah.
Here in Norway, it was still, snow. But I'm looking forward to coming back to Sweden on the 30th of June, which will be the middle of the summer. And when I'm driving along the road, I love to see the vegetation, green.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, well, it's really nice in Scandinavia, because we got a winter that will make everything white, especially here in Norway and part of Sweden, the northern part of Sweden. And then comes the summer, then it turns green. And if you are not been here before in the summer, you say, oh, this is the Garden of Eden. But come back.
I'm telling you.
You come in the winter and you're going to see ice everywhere. But Mark, it's going to be interesting tonight. We're going to have an exciting show. And we are in a political season, so everything we'll be talking here tonight will be about politics and a specific person in the political arena who will not be dividing our thoughts tonight like we did, and we will be focusing. But just before we do that, let's play this interlude of music by Takunje. And the reason we love this music on the show is that it talks exactly about the political events in Liberia, how government treat the voters. But again, the voters have the card in their hand to play. It depends how they play it. So let's listen to Takunje.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lots. us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not to corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Well. This is how Legacy formally welcome to the bottom line. Like I said, tonight we're going to be discussing a particular individual, and that person is a political figure. That person is also a well-known, well-achieved individual, and I believe that person is a promising Liberian. Normally we hear this in Liberia that nobody knows you, nobody knows the person here. We don't know him, we don't know her. And how do you know somebody? When we were all born, we didn't even know our parents until we have to grow up before we got to know them. So the only way you got to know somebody is through what the person does or what the person shows they can do. And so tonight we're going to be talking about a particular person. And like I said, Paul is not here tonight, Jemima is not here tonight, so it's going to be me and Mark Farr for the next 1 hour and 30 minutes right here. And we're going to be discussing a real individual on this platform. I mean, when I say real, and nobody's forced to, but we got real people and we got people. We got people and we got people. So tonight we're going to be talking about somebody whose name has been surfacing of late. You know, it's been interesting that everybody's kind of waiting for Fixer 2. You know, and in Liberia, I don't know how people came out with this acronym. Like you got Rescue 1, Rescue 2. And so the CPB came out with that Fixer 2. But just before we go further, I'll just try to ask Mark, what? Fixer, in your own interpretation. I'm talking about the Bowman interpretation, but like Mark, if your son was supposed to ask you, say, Papa, but what they call Fixer? I hear Fixer 1, Fixer, and they look for Fixer 2. How will you explain to him? You're muted, Mike. You're muted.
It depends who the, phrase is being
applied to.
articulated, attributed to, then I will interpret it in a more positive way. So, for example, if Fixer 1 was something to my political leader, which I'm proud of to say, Alexander Cummings, then I will give that, good explanation to my child or that person why he's been referred to as Fixer. Because looking at the country, number one, after the 14 to 16 years civil crisis, then we had the interim period. From the interim period, then we came to the 12 years of the UP government that couldn't even solve 25% of the problem. So then we got the CDC government there for 6 years. That things just stay the same. And looking at where Mr. Cummings come from Liberia to Ivory Coast, from Ivory Coast to the South Africa, from South Africa to England, then to the America, then I would tell my child that is why he's being called Fixer 1. Because of all his accomplishment, achievement, and looking at, that he worked in places of America without being one day auditor, or, he could have been auditor and was never found of any wrongdoing or mismanagement. So, and going back home, so that is why he's called Fixer. So he could be the president to solve the problem, to fix the problem. Just to answer your question.
Okay, great. And so, in my own interpretation, Fixer, just disregarding achievements and whatever, but Fixer is somebody who can repair something. Somebody who can, put things back together. Like for instance, if my shoe was damaged and I still love these shoes, I will not just throw it away. I go to someone who can fix shoes, and we should call them shoe repairer. So he will fix my shoes, and it might even be better than it was before. So fixer is someone who can put things back together. The thing will not destroy.
But I'll interrupt you right there. Sometimes you go to the shoe repair, the man only puts on a thread there, you wear the shoe, you have to go to your house, you come down the road, the shoe boss.
That's where I'm coming to now.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
We get good fixer and we get bad fixer.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get good fixer, we get bad fixer. I remember you just reminded me. I had a friend. We were just not my friend or big boy more than us when we were growing up. But we all lived in the yard, and we went to different schools. But so in the evening, we all come on the street light in the yard and we be talking about school and things like that. So I remember one flare day. We used to drill right for flare day. So the guy was in the special squad for his school year, so to be drilling. So he borrowed the old army boot from one army man. So he carried the army boot to some shoe repairer. The guy, so instead of shoe repairer, I know how the guy did it. He put the nail from the bottom of the shoe, so they sharp out a nail in the shoes. So this guy didn't know, and he wore the shoe. So when the guy on the land was drilling already, every time they step the nail juking in there, the nail are going in the flat, but then you can't move around the land. They say, give me your left and right. Every time step, the man blown out for the shoe. So, that was a bad fix. But what we're trying to say is that fixer is somebody who will put things together. Okay? And we have qualified a fixer. You can have a bad fixer, you can have a good fixer. But in this case with Liberia, we hear a lot of talks. People say, oh, the country is damaged, the country is going backward. Nothing is functioning in the country. Security is bad, the economy is bad, and just about everything is bad. So what do we do in the kind of country? And this is the only country that we have. So should we all run away from the country, from the land, and just go and leave the land empty? Or should we continue to have it going as it is, damaged, and everything is just bad, and we'll continue to damage it and damage it? No, if you have something that is damaged, instead of fixing it, you continue to use it or something, it will damage beyond repair. Okay, so there is a need, and all the people who are running, they're running for power, they're running for president, in the presidency, and they're running for power and thing. But the question is, when they become president, what do they do? What are they going to do? And so this is where the name fixer comes in. Some people say they want to rescue. Now, listen, you can't rescue anything that is damaged. You can fix things that is damaged. You cannot rescue anything that is damaged. So if we all agree that Liberia is damaged, everything, the infrastructure, everything is damaged, how can you rescue that? You can only fix it. Okay? Now, Mark, you know about earthquake or tsunami. So a tsunami came and damaged everything. What will you rescue? You can't rescue anything. You would rather repair, you would rather fix, right? If earthquake took place, the buildings are broken, you would rather fix them. The only thing you can rescue is if there are some survivors within the rubble. You can rescue them, but that does not mean that you have fixed what was damaged. So in actual sense, you have to fix the country after you have finished rescuing all the casualties. People who got hurt, when you rescue them, you turn around and fix the country. So, Mr. Cummings says he's a fixer, and then he needs an assistant. So, that fixer, okay, let me ask you, Mark, what if you are a shoe repairer or you are a tailor? You are a very good tailor. Do you think you're going to just pick your assistant? You're going to pick some kind of boy from in the street to be your assistant? Because remember, when you are not there, when you on some errand, or maybe you're tired today, you're not working, that assistant will setting for you. So, who you pick? Will you just pick anybody to be your tailor boy or your shoe shine boy? I mean, your shoemaker boy? Talk to me.
Thank you for the question, Brother Linford. First of all, you got to think about the image of your business in the first place. So in order for you not to scare your customer or to drive your customers away, you pick somebody that will be able to serve your customer satisfactorily when you are not there, when you are not around. So that the person, sometimes you carry your shoes to a shoe repairer, as you say, and this guy is very good, but while approaching the shop, and you see different face behind the counter or behind the machine, then you say, no, the guy, I don't trust the guy, I can't my shoes back. Yeah. So just like that. So for that reason, you're not going to pick anybody that cannot represent you, even though when, the president said you can't be everywhere at the same time. Yeah, it's like a football team or a sport team. You can't be the coach, you can't be the president, you can't be the player, you can't be the goalkeeper at the same time. You need qualified people, competent people to serve in a different position, you understand, skillful people. So that's the same thing with the presidency. The vice president has to be somebody who can represent the president sometimes on the international stage. The president cannot be everywhere at the same time. So for that reason, the fixer too have to be somebody who's up to the task.
Good. So now we've been hearing some rumors. Liberia, one thing I know about Liberia, this country called Liberia, is that when you hear rumor, there is some small semblance of truth there. When you hear rumor persistently, they say, in Douala yesterday we saw the sky coming down. Even if it wasn't the sky that came down, probably it was dew falling or the rain was falling from the sky. Because Liberia, man, one thing I know about them, they can meet you with anything. But news, they will not meet you with it. And this ERDC that we have is very powerful. So we've been hearing the rumors that after the counter convention of the CPP, in search of very good fixer too. Because if Mr. Cummings was just looking for a fixer, oh no, there's a lot of fixers out there. The Bagwati one and all that what you're talking about. No wonder when your customers see, they will draw by. They all there. You could just go and say, okay, my man, you my fixer too. But Mr. Cummings have been carefully searching. And people were saying that the NIM Councillor Charlyne is one of those who whose names may have been on a list, on a short list, and there have been 13 people. And if we are not on the show tonight, we are not saying that Councillor Charlyne Bronski is a fixer too, but we just, like, we just dissecting, we just trying to microscope who this Charlyne Bronski is. And if she's one of those who is shortlisted, what quality does she have? Educationally, her ordinary characteristics, like just as a person on a national front and on an international front. Who is she? Do people know her? Because the librarian people, they all talk about who knows you. So we will delve into a little brief history of Councillor Charlyne Bronski. And Brother Mike, I think you already have a little idea of some of what she is or who she is. And so we'll try our best to delve into some of what we know about her. We are not experts on her. We don't know much about her. Or when I mean much, we don't know everything about her, but just about how much we know about her in public space. We'll be trying to discuss that. And we hope you, the viewers, all the listeners, will know exactly where we're coming from. We are saying that we are not proclaiming that Councillor Charlyne Bronski is the fixer one. And let me just make this announcement. Tonight, you're going to see that if you're watching, or you're going to see that our board is like 1, 2, 5, 2, 3. The number will be fluctuating. This is not the normal Facebook that we use. Our two Facebooks that we normally use, that this network is registered on, has some little problem with StreamYard. Normally, StreamYard will do this. They will say they have lost contact to your Facebook, and then they have to take 1 or 2 days and then restore it. So everything you see here, if you see any number appear here, it's either going to be on my private Facebook or YouTube. So that doesn't mean that people are not watching. People are actually watching in the back. You see. So if we go to that Facebook, it's on, but we cannot see it because StreamYard trapped it. So if we go to it now, we will see how many people are watching it. But you and I will not be able to see it unless we the administrator, go into the site. So do not let the number disturb you or think say people are not watching. People are actually watching, and people who listen to us, who know us, platform, and they know when we can come on, they're watching it, but it's like they are in the backstage. So we cannot bring them on live. It's only the system can make them visible to you and I, or to you, the viewers. So now you see 2 people. The 2 people you see here doesn't mean that we don't have people watching us. These 2 people are watching from the YouTube, okay? And if any of my friends will see the notice, when they log on, you will only see them because those are the ones highlighted right now. But our other 2 Facebooks, they are on, but we cannot see them. Okay, so like what we were saying, we will be looking at Councillor Bronski, not the Charles, but the Charlyne, and just some of what we know about her. We are not specialists on her, we are not her biographer, but just few of what we know about her educational background, and what she's engaged in. And so we'll start like this. I don't know if Mark, you want to read? Or you want me to read and then we can discuss it? I read line by line, we can discuss it. You are muted, Mark.
Either way, you can go first because you are the moderator of the program. Then I will continue from where you stop.
Okay. If you have the open read before you are starting this, Councillor Charlyne M. Bronski is a Bassa woman born in Yekepa, Nima County. Wow, I didn't know that. Did you know that she was born in Yekepa?
Yeah, I've been doing few, background research on her, and I got to know that she was born.
Prior to you hearing her name recently, for how long?
No, not exactly.
Wow, yeah. Even me too. I didn't know that. Okay, but then they say she was born in Yekepa, Grand Bassa, Nima County. But then it's not also strange because Lamco when Lamco was Lamco, people came from Paso to go work in Yekepa. People came from Yekepa or Nima to go work in Vikena. So they were all mixed up around there. So
Exactly, because you got a
yeah,
Lamco, Yegepa and a Lamco Bikana. And then
right.
two Grand Bassa County also share border with Nima County.
With Nima County. Okay. So they say she was born in Yekepa, Nima County, and her father, Councilor Charles Walker Bronsky, the late, hailed from Upper Picana Electoral District Number 3, Grand Bassa County, and her mother, Esther Bronsky, hailed from Johnny Nathan Town in Doing Electoral District Number 1, Grand Bassa County. Now, so the both parents are from Grand Bassa County, in as much as Charlyne was born in Yekepa, Nima County. I guess her parents moved there for work or something, but the both parents are from Grand Bassa County. So she's, if I use this word, she's 100% Bassa woman. Good. Okay. So, did you hear, prior to her name being listed on the short list for this VP pick, did you hear that she was also running for district number 3 in Grand Bassa County?
Yeah, that I heard about.
Okay.
That she was running before this VP stuff, and a poster of her was taken down, I think, few months ago by some opposition forces within the Liberty Party, and she had to gather some boys to go and help her and how to retrieve the poster and get it standing back on, which I found that was very disturbing. Yeah, that people from the county would treat one of their own like that. I mean, people can have their differences, but that's how I start to dig behind. I mean, as to who she is and what she have done, and that she was the late old man's daughter. Yeah.
And she was actually, or she's actually trying to be representative for her father's district. That sounds, to me, that sounds very, very much nationalistic. You know, she's a patriot, she's a nationalist. That her father came from district number 3 and she wants to be representative, even though the father is dead. But she still wants to be connected to the people of her father, people who, or let me say, her father's home people. Okay, but let's move further. It says Councilor Charlyne Manema Bronsky. You know, the pastor professional, if you born on Sunday, they say Sunday guy born on Monday, they say Monday ma, he born on Tuesday ma, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, Money Ma. It means Money Girl or Money Woman.
Okay, Monday ma. So she is a legal luminary. And for those of you who may not understand that luminary is, she's a law woman. Let me put it that way. She's educated as a lawyer. She's a good lawyer.
She's a legal-minded, educated
legal
woman.
minded person, educated person. And she is the founder and managing partner of the CMB Law Group. And the CMB Law Group is the Charlyne Manema Bronsky Law Group. So she got her own law office. No, her father was a lawyer and he had a law firm. Okay, and I guess she got most of her education and training from that law firm. But she didn't sit down there and say, "Oh, you know, they like what we can do, man. You know, if my father, my father will be me, I say, okay, I'll depend my father. Maybe when he die, I'll take over or something." But she established her own group that she is heading in addition to what her father had. How many Nigerian children would think that way?
But in most cases too, I want to say this: when it comes to girls' children, you know, it go. Sometimes girls' children want to imitate their dad, right? Their fathers, and sometimes boys' children the same. And looking at, I mean, someone. I don't want to go ahead of the reading stuff, so But I think she's someone who admires her father a lot, so for which she decided to follow the old man's footsteps legally and politically speaking. Yeah.
Good. And so it continues. It says she is the founder and co-partner of the CMB Law Group. And CMB is the Charlyne Moneymark Bronskin Law Group. And then CMB Law Group is one of the leading and fastest growing law firms in Liberia. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's an achievement.
Okay.
We continue. Councillor
And here-
Bronskin, yeah.
Okay. Here so Councillor Bronskin brings on board 20 years of experience in legal services.
Right.
She's accredited to practice law in New York City and at the Supreme Court of Liberia. Her law firm provides.
Stop there small, my baby. Stop there small.
Okay.
Because you hit two key points. She is what? She brings on board 20 years. 20 years of experience in legal services. Now, listen, if a child was born 20 years ago, that's a man right now. And so somebody who has been, practicing law for 20 years, and like I said before, she started practicing under her father, and that's how she grew the interest to even establish her own business. So 20 years of experience. Matt, talk to me. In your own case, as a professional man, imagine 20 years of experience. How will you feel? Muted? You got to unmute yourself, Mark.
20 years of experience, right? Speaks volume here because this is somebody who went to school in America. She practiced law in New York. And if you talk to people that into legal practices in America, they'll tell you that the state of California and the state of New York, they are two of the most respected areas that when people are certificated, you understand, or when it gets degree in any institution from these two states, they are highly respected in America. So for somebody to practice law in New York and was certificated, through the Bar Association there, that speaks a lot that she has a lot of education in that area that she brings to the table.
Okay. And then the next point you touched was that, she brings on board 20 years of experience, and then she's accredited to practice law in New York City, and at the Supreme Court of Liberia. So, can you imagine?
Exactly. So meaning that, if you go to the university in, let's say, in California, right? Let's say you graduated from UCLA, or you went to one of those universities in New York, and graduating, you have to sit the Bar Association exam, and you have to pass that exam before they can certificate you. And you understand, for you to be able to practice law legally. Graduating from the school doesn't permit you, but you have to sit that extra exam through the council. So that means she went through all these different processes or protocols, and she was certificated. And also the Supreme Court, looking at her credential from the America and then came to Liberia, also doesn't automatically satisfy her as well. She had to also sit the Liberian Bar examination in order for them to satisfy her to practice law in Liberia. So that tells you how smart the lady is. You understand?
And then the next thing is that, continue your reading, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. Okay. In Liberia, okay, where I stop. Her law firm provides jobs for young Liberian legal luminary to get experience in the field of law.
Wow. And this one is where we talk about human capacity building.
Exactly.
Yeah, human capacity building. Because how good will it benefit Charlyne Bronstein if she goes to New York and get a degree, to California and get a degree, and then she comes home and only find a job and working and putting money in her own pocket, while thousands of law students are moving all around without job. So she said, no, I cannot be this selfish. I will open a law firm somewhere where I will give opportunity to young people who are like me. She's young, who will come and also practice the same way I practice. And then I got to this stage. So this is what we talk about human resource development. And I think this is one person who is thinking in a direction that Mr. Cummings is thinking, because Mr. Cummings has always been saying that he wants to develop the human capacity of Liberia. I don't know how you want to chime in there.
And to add on to that, it's not just only to practice law, right? And not every law student end up working for a law firm. So some of them work in the security apparatus as well, like the police, the intelligence division, the NSA. You need legal-minded people to work in this area, because if you don't have legal-minded people to work in this area to protect and uphold the law at the same time, then you're gonna have, things just being done from, and you understand, from how they call it, from like ignorant behavior. But her school also help to prepare, how they call it, some law enforcement officers that serve at the highest position. So she done a great job by educating a lot of Liberians, not just to become lawyers and judges, but also to work in the security apparatus as part of the human resource development of our country.
Good. Okay, continue.
Yeah, okay. She is a graduate of Howard University School of Law, where she obtained Juris Doctor JD degree in law in Washington, D.C. She obtained Bachelor of Arts degree in political science from Barnard College and Columbia University in New York.
And so, with this type of CV and the experience that she has, I believe that void of politics, because in Liberia, most of the people that go in politics, they go in there, they see government as the elephant, they are going in politics to catch their fattest piece. But void of government job, politics and whatever, with this kind of CV that Councillor Charlyne Bronstein has, I believe she can stand on her own as an independent woman, independent person with independent mind, that will say, well, I don't care for government job, or I don't even care about the government of Liberia or the people of Liberia. As long as I can work and get my money, I don't care about who goes to bed without food. But I think because of her good heart, she has seen the need to help the people of Liberia. And in fact, that's why she's intending to run as what? Representative of District number 3 in Grand Bassa County. But how be it, if it is true that her name is also on the short list for the VP pick for Mr. Cummings, I believe that she brings a lot to the table. I don't know what you think, Mark, but I believe she brings a lot to the table that anybody, any Liberian who means well, any Liberian, I'm not talking about NSCPP president, I'm talking about all Liberians who are catching hard time, who know that they need development in the country, they need law and order in the country, they will try to consider somebody like Charlyne Bronstein running as a running mate to Mr. Cummings.
Brother Linford, I'll tell you this. From what we have just read, right? This is a woman who could be working for a law firm in California or in New York,
100%.
and making tens of thousands of dollars a month or a couple of $1 million a year. This is somebody who could be working with, one of the law firm or working with any of those, federal judges. And how much lawyer make in Liberia, for example, compared to what she could have made in America? And then the woman left all of that, came to Liberia and decided to empower her people, you understand? And let us just go into a little bit of history, looking at the country since the Civil War, 15 years. Then we got, how they call it, the interim period, another 4 or 5 years after that. The whole society is broken down. That is why you got all kind of cases unsolved in the country, because you don't have enough manpower in this particular field, and you understand, to help solve some of these problems. You go in some of these counties, you don't have good judges in some of these counties. First of all, the post salary is not on time. And she leaving all of that to say, okay, I put my career on the line to come back home to serve my people. I think it's something that all Liberians should embrace. And there are many people like her out there, both male and female out there. So I think it's a good thing for Liberia, and she served as an example.
Okay. Continue with the final questions.
Charlyne Bronskin, Councillor Bronskin is a professor of law at the Louis Arthur Graham's School of Law, where she teaches free of charge. She is the dux of the Supreme Court Bar Exam 2021.
Can you imagine?
Exactly.
She dukes the whole Supreme Court bar.
Yeah.
Can you imagine with all the other lawyers? I'm not
2021.
In comparison here, but men, we always believe that we are tough. I take myself for example. When I was in grade school, I always I hated to see when they divide our paper. They are seeing any girl school higher than me. Any girl school higher than me in the class. The next test, I will always be. You will be my target now. I want to score higher than you too. So with all these men, they get dukes, they lose Underground School of Law in 2021. Can you imagine? Okay, and let's talk so, Mark. Let's talk so. It's not easy for a woman to just achieve those kind of things. And the reason why it's not too easy, we all here, we got brothers and sisters, we got sisters, we got mother, we got whatever. Look at the extra load that women have to have. Number one, even if a woman is just stepping out of this room, it will take enough time to get ready, to dress and think. Okay? You got to go look presentable. That takes time. And in the whole world, everything we do it goes with time. Then, even when they are cooking, they are very careful. They don't want to cook more salt. They don't want to cook less salt. So they take time. Women are burning. Okay? The woman has to take care of the house. Even if she lives as a single lady, she has to take care of the house. Okay? If the lady is going out, she got to be, in tap for me. Like, they got burning. If that lady also have a child, the problem doubles. If she's married, the problem even quadruple. Because why she got to take care of the children, she got to take care of herself, she got to take care of the house, she got to take care of the husband. So for women to just achieve that, for me, I believe is not just something extra. It's not just something ordinary. That must be extraordinary, and not men and women. That's why men will always feel that we are higher than women, or we can do well more than women. That's so. But because women are burning, so it takes away most of that time. And we men, we go through the tough job, though. But I think at certain time we have enough time on our hand compared to the women to do a lot of things. But the women will always try. And if you see a woman excel to this level, I think she needs some respect, she needs some commendation and encouragement.
Totally agree with you.
Continue, bro.
Okay. She is one of highest donors to education in Grand Bassa.
Mark, what happened? I'm not hearing Mark again. I hope his internet did not freeze.
We went off just now, so we're back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're back.
Okay. She is one of highest donors to education in Grand-Bassa and Liberia throughout Bronskin's Family Foundation. She uses 15% of her annual incomes to educate children from kindergarten to university level.
Again, we come back to human resource development.
Yeah.
So, can you imagine how many Charlyne Bronskins she's going to produce in the future from her own pocket? While there are others in government taking the money that belongs to all of us and using it for themselves, she's one individual who is using her own money to help people, something that the government should be doing.
And one of the reasons that you find, I mean, even though she's not a government employee yet, she's still in the private sector. She got a law firm and she run her own foundation. But one of the reasons you find people, I mean, for example, you and I, you live in Norway, I live in Sweden. You don't just find people giving their money to government hospitals in Sweden or in Norway just like that. No. The taxpayer money goes towards that. The people got a revenue system that collect these things. But the reason you find Charlyne and other women and other people in Liberia going into their own private, savings and or income and making these donations is because the kind of impoverished system we got back home, the system is broken down. So we're gonna continue seeing people going deep into their own pockets to make ends meet, to help people get their medical need, help people send their children to school until you can find a government that will be able to provide these services for the people. That's the only time these kind of things going to come to an end. But until then, I'm sorry, my brother. We just have to. It's going to continue like that. Even you, Linford, you go back home tomorrow. After working here, you're going to be responsible for some family member, some friend, child going to school, hospital bill. Even as you are here, you still receive call. Just imagine you're not there. You still receive call. Oh yeah, my man, I ain't got food. My child ain't go to school. Uniform, X, Y, Z. So think about people that are on the ground that see the day-to-day, action. Yeah, the day-to-day suffering of the people. Yeah. So should I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Councillor Charlyne M. Bronskin contributed over 500,000 Liberian dollar, 500,000 LRD to Liberian government hospitals in cash donation, bills payment, and in kind. She is one of the leading donors to churches and mosques in Grand-Bassa and Liberia. She is a sponsor and supporter of sports in Liberia, both at county and national levels. She is an advocate against gender-based violence and abuse. She is one of the sponsors of women's sports and she encourages exercises in the Liberian society. She was one of the highest donors to Liberia during the measles outbreak in 1997. Wow. I didn't know that.
You see, and like, if you remember what I said from the start of the show, people will always say, but who know Mafa, who know Linford? But until you come to a spotlight, people will not know. Because there's a lot of people who do things silently. They don't want to go out there boasting. And let me tell you one thing, man. Something I've observed, especially in Liberia, is people who make a large noise about what they do for others. There are people who are stealing. They see money that belongs to the people. And then they want to impress the same people that I'm doing good for you. Take for example, on Maggie. Who was Maggie when we all were in Liberia during the MPF at the time? Then came the MPP time, then they from one party to another. And then he will become a millionaire and goes to Banga and tell the people, the little money we see, we can pay house, we for air for you. See it? And there are people who have been doing things. How many times do you hear Charlyne going and telling people, oh, I contribute to churches and mosques and schools and sports and all these things? No. All the things that Mr. Coming to us for people. How many times you have Mr. Coming stand somewhere and say, oh, I want to take this one, I don't want to build a stand school or the 600 kids via generator at BWI, all these things. No. The silent people, the people who do things silently, there are people who are work honestly and they want to help somebody. Like today, I go to my house, I give me food to eat. Then I say, oh, I gave me food yesterday. You see, even you give me the food I eat, boy, you take it from my stomach and run away.
Exactly.
So, or there are people who do things silently and they do it out of willingness. But in our Liberian society, the people who make it loud and loud, they are the people stealing from you voters, and they come to you to impress you, to make you think that they are doing good for you. Okay, continue, brother.
Yeah, okay. She was ranked 31st on the list of 50 most inspirational female leaders of Africa 2021. Winner of Liberty Youth Achievers Award 2019. Legal Luminary of the Year 2022.
And this is very recent, last year.
Yeah, last year. Contributed to the building of the Human Resource Center, a project implemented by Grand Bassa University Students Union at UL campus. Promoted supported welfare programs for needy students from the 15 counties to get feedings, clothing, and medication during both the Ebola and coronavirus outbreaks in Liberia.
Can you imagine? Start right there. Making this contribution that we get her, and then all of these accolades. Okay, like she's the winner of the Liberty Youth Achievers, and she was ranked the 31st on a list of 50 women. Can you imagine? 31st, 31 out of 50 women in 2021. Okay, then she contributed to the building of the Human Resource Center, a project which was implemented by the Grand Bassa Student Association. All these things that she's been doing. How many times do you hear her going out, standing in the public and say, "Oh, I did this"? No, simply because she worked for that money. One, two, is from her heart. She's not doing it to get something back. But the less of my game, we see your own money and can't build a house in your country or in your country, or house that will be for him. He got a key. When he finish, he lock it door, he go, anything can open it, or he puts the whole country under the impression that, oh, you know, the house for you. When people can see the beautiful house, they will say, oh, Bangafa, your Ponkati farm, who the house for? There for you. And they say, yeah. When they know, they will not even step in the house. So this is what the politicians do to our people.
Our people also to learn for the celebrate the kind of behavior. Instead of, first of all, let's say John Brown was nobody yesterday,
right?
Came to power all of a sudden, serving as government minister. First of all, how much is the minister's salary? How much is the deputy minister's salary? Overnight, that man's salary, I mean, a year time is not over $500,000, but this man is building a mansion that is more than his salary. He got cars in his yard that are more than his annual salary. Two, you check the man's bank account, the man got more than his annual salary. And you don't have the security apparatus. They don't stand up to these people. You guys, the lawmakers first are on different committees. Instead of them serving the country, they serve individual. They serve at the will pleasure. Lawmaker that is elected by the people. Instead of serving the people, they serve at somebody else's will pleasure. So these things going to continue happening until our people, their minds will get educated, or their children, some of the children that will be privileged to say, look, tell their parents, say, you start promoting these things. We have suffered this kind of behavior for a long time. It is time that we the children, we left from these villages and stuff, went to school, and we got this education. Oh my, if you were to go in a village tomorrow, Linford, you see your people jubilating the kind of behavior. So now that person leave, you go to the old man in the kitchen, say, oh man, yeah, they think what you celebrating here, so this thing is wrong. That man your family benefiting. Now, if something happened to you now, I got to transfer you way to Maserati for you to go to hospital. The money they made that the government is supposed to use to build hospital here to treat you, that the money they made and his group, they just stealing from us. So you got to start, when the people that come around, you don't turn up, you don't go to celebrate them, let the people then carry the money right back to where they get it from. And then too, the security apparatus too. Nobody investigate these people, my brother. No. How much the man come to power with? How much were the man worth before coming to power? The man declare asset. What were the man asset? But overnight the man turned to millionaire right in the country. What business the man have?
In fact, you talk about the security apparatus. It's the same security apparatus who will facilitate the people stealing, because by the time the people steal, then they get the best bodyguard.
Yeah.
From the security apparatus.
Yeah.
So who's going to investigate this guy? And when it comes to the legislature, they know that they all have the same goal. So if John Brown steals, they say, oh, man, you do your own. They are ready to do your own. Don't talk. See it? So it's a whole clique in there. Yeah? And when you go to the judiciary, it's the same, because the judiciary, even though they do not have prosecutorial power, but they are supposed to investigate and recommend to the Justice Department to take action. But everybody, like you said, the whole system is just broken down. So there's nothing working. It's just like your car, when the car engine breaks down, the tire will not turn, nothing starting, and everything just kaput.
I used to have this thing a few time ago. I'm like, okay, will it have made any difference, for example, if the police director, the justice minister, the how they call it, the solicitor general, and you name it, if these people were elected and not appointed by the president? I think if these people were elected and not appointed by the president, they would have done a lot more than what it is now. But because these positions are appointed positions by the president, so these people, they serve at the, to satisfy the big man. Or if these people were elected as lawmakers, no, you'll find some of these people, then they will walk to the main office once a month and say, my man, yeah, we are elected, you appoint us, so we're investigating you and your whole group, start putting people in prison.
Yeah, let me disagree with you small there, Omar.
Yeah.
Let's look at it. Let's look at the lawmakers who are elected. What they do?
Yeah, but the lawmaker, I will argue with you on that one too. The lawmaker, he ain't get going inside, so nobody's scared of him. But the police director get going inside.
Yeah, but the lawmaker, why he get going? He didn't get resolved.
He ain't get resolved.
Yeah, why the people can put pressure on them, but they will sit there and wait for a whole 6 years or 9 years to pass before they even start making all their man should not vote for them again. Imagine this is a man who have been suffering there for 9 years, 6 years.
Linford.
Yeah.
All the thing, even though there are certain things of Yeke I can disagree with, right? But as time passes by, then I reason why Yeke has become like that over the past year. But from the beginning, I'm like, oh, Yeke. But all the things Yeke been talking, how many times you are seeing Liberian people to say, oh yeah, they think Yeke talking today that true. We go into that Capitol building there. We surround the Capitol building. None of these men are going home.
Yeah. Who can bring up people? You can take the gun from the police director. You can take the gun from all the people. The people not do nothing. In fact,
No,
no,
what I mean, I mean all the things you can be talking, everything you can be talking. At the end of the day,
nothing happened.
the fact can come up, okay? But the Liberian people, they will sit down home, they will say, oh, your leader, you can man, your man, you can man, X, Y, Z. You understand? Instead of them saying, no, but they think what the boy talking, so they think what the man talking are true in it.
You know,
We go to
you
that
don't go there,
capital
bro,
building,
like
you're the
me.
lawmaker, then we elect you that you're supposed to hold the government feet to the fire. When for you here to be Santa Claus or whatsoever, you understand? So you're supposed to perform your duty. If the people won't respect you, then you leave. No, one, you create constitutional crisis in the country. But you can't continue the same old thing. It's like Coca-Cola. You shake the Coca-Cola, it phones. Now you set it down, the phone go down.
Yeah, that Google sensation. You see, so actually the power, that's why in Article 1 of the Constitution, it says the power is in the hands of the people. But our people have not reached to that stage, that level where they will understand their own power. You know, every time I give the power, people can be laughing. I said, we are elephants, but we do know our own way. You know, the elephant is so heavy, but because it can barely weight, it will go in that heavy. But when it step on the ends, then the ends will know now that, oh, it's only heavy step on it. So
Oh, yeah.
we, the elephants, who are the voters? The way election coming out, you know that the voters are the kings.
Oh, yeah. The voters have become the king because they won their vote. But right after the vote, they say, go away, you poor bastard. Who know you? Go away.
Go away. So
Then you go suffer after taking $50, but the $50 suffer you for 6 years. You buy your own. You say you buy your own suffering.
So you see, the problem lies with us, the people, and not the people we are electing. Because if we know that we're suffering, and we elected this person to help us, and the person did not do anything that we wanted, what happened to that person? Should we even allow him to end his tenure? No. Let alone for his tenure to over, and then he comes back to us and seek a second mandate, and we agree to it. So we are the problem.
No, Linford, the country got a huge problem. Yeah,
Big
a
one.
huge problem. Let me just point something simple out to you as we only Charlyne something, right? When Doe was in power, Doe was building the defense ministry, right? When Ellen came to power, what happened? She stopped that project. She went on different project, right? The next person who came there, George Weah come, he will stop that other project. He will go on his own project, right?
Your own project.
When George Weah moved from there, another president come there, that person will go on the project where George Weah was on. Instead of continuing that project to finish it, they say, oh, that George Weah project, let me leave it. The money ain't for George Weah, the money in that country money. And that's one of the wasteful spending we got in our country. Every administration that come, they were banning a Linford taking over from Paul, Linford were banning Paul on a project. Instead of saying, no, the project where Paul started, for example, maybe the hard road, I will continue the project and finish the project now for Paul. The country doesn't belong to Paul. That person will leave that hard road and go spend nonsense money in different countries on a project that their administration not going to finish. And when the next person taking over, that's one of the reasons you go over West Africa. Liberia got one of the backward capital. That whole capital, Monrovia, where Monrovia is located in Monrovia County. Even he said, if you put that country on the capital of value, he even said, well, $1 billion investment. Infrastructure. He even reached $1 billion. You go to Conakry, you put all Conakry, the whole, Conakry capital together, tell you, okay, maybe it's up to maybe $3-4 billion. But we got one of the backward capital. Plus all the lawmakers, you see our T Central when you came to Stockholm, right?
Yeah.
They knew how they call it T Central that they built where all the trains they come from, they meet at the central. That project was almost 30 some more years planning. And they've been having from one government to another, But once that project started, no government come in play and say, no, the project, because that was Johansson project or that was Lundstrom project, so they're not going to continue. Who born you? You crazy? To come waste the Swedish taxpayer money? To say, oh yeah, you stop that project, you're going to start not something nonsensical on the other side? No. You're going to continue that project regardless. Once the parliament has approved that project. Linford. Yeah, once the parliament has approved that project going to continue regardless what government come to power. They will find the funding for that project. But in Liberia, most of it, John Brown come to power, he won't do his own thing because that Paul was doing it yesterday.
Yeah, simply because they were,
So that country problem is huge, my brother. Look, for example, you got something called County Development Fund. What you call County Development Fund? And these are some of the reasons the guys they want Mr. Cummings come to power. Because Cummings, he's not going to take somebody to say, oh yeah, you Linford, you go be city mayor in Nima County and you cannot, or you superintendent in Nima County, you stay here, want the government to be resting check from Monrovia to be paying you in Nima County when you cannot generate revenue from the local, how they call it, the leadership in Nima County. There are a lot of things you can generate revenue from, and you turn that money around with the people in Nima County to generate more revenue.
Well,
let's continue with the Charlyne something, man.
Yeah, even though we deviated a little bit, but we'll continue with our Charlyne team because she's
but that's the same reason we're having a discussion today, because this lady, she's rich, and you understand?
Yeah.
She's rich with the academic accomplishment. Now, let us compare with the current vice president here, and you understand? Let's make a comparison, the both of them. Charlyne had, lot in her basket that the current vice president she doesn't have. Charlyne went to 2 universities in America. The current vice president, where did she go for study? But it's not the thing. And you understand, we're looking at the heart, the commitment. And you understand, the loyalty towards your people.
So you continue from where you started, because everything coming here now is just what she's been doing for people, and it's surprising. I didn't know about these things.
Yeah. She currently lighting up Buchanan with the installation of solar lights in almost every community in Buchanan. Equipped the Liberian National Motorcyclist Union office in Buchanan with chairs, flat screens, television, DSTV sets, and many more. During holidays...
To me, you continue a little bit, but to me, this one is very important also. The motorcyclists.
Yeah.
We see them sitting down on motorcyclists. Then people say, oh, that paper rattle. Some of those boys went to university, some of them finished university, but because no job.
Exactly. And this is the thing here, sometimes when I hear people talking about the UP government, right? And I will continue to give the analogy every time. Your child born in the West here, at the age of 5, 6, they start going to school.
Yeah.
At the age of 18, that child graduated from what we call gymnasium here. So in 12 years time, that child got high school education. 19, 20, that child start going to university exactly at the age of 19. You understand? So in Liberia, we wasted 12 years of the UP government, our children in Liberia, didn't get good high school education. The next thing, that 3 different sets of bachelor degree holder in our 12 years. So the human resource deficit we got in the country, also from the war, plus the UP government. And you understand? Some of the boys, exactly what you're saying. So some of the boys could be even bus drivers, okay? They could be truck drivers. They could be heavy duty equipment operators. And these things, you don't go to, how they call it, say, you don't go get master or bachelor degree for them. No. You just go to technical institution. Okay? In Europe, in Sweden, Norway, the people you find driving these trucks, working on the machines, on the train station and stuff, these are children that just from gymnasium, they go to the technical college, 2 years time, these people, they make more money than some people sitting in the offices. And some of these children are very smart. But the human resource deficit going to continue to haunt Liberia until, Liberian people start to feel it.
Okay, continue.
Yeah.
During holidays.
During holidays, she regularly distributes food, medication, and other needful things to old folks and disabled homes.
Mm.
She provides loans for small businesses in different communities in Buchanan and in Monrovia. She is a transformer and sponsor of some of our disadvantaged youth in Liberia and has been helpful in the reintegration process, and she visited several ghettos in 2017 in Monrovia, giving up food, medication, and she encouraged them that there is still hope.
Mm.
Yeah, for example, look at the drugs, something that we got in the country.
Yes.
If you watch some of the video, until I start watching some of the videos, okay? If you watch some of the video, but you find government, we got 103 lawmakers. Because a president doesn't want them to make noise behind there, they buy new cars for 103 lawmakers at once. 70,000, 60,000, 80,000, the speaker car at 90,000, the deputy speaker. But if you take just 10 of those people money and build a rehabilitation center, you can have almost in a year time the money you used to buy those people car, you can rehabilitate all those children from on a center. And what is the government doing to even stop the drugs coming in the country?
The mistake they made, or the authorities made, is that they think by giving these luxury cars to government officials will make any difference in the lives of the government officials themselves. No, it doesn't make any difference.
But I'll tell you this. There was one of the Liberian ambassador who came somewhere. We were in a country I can't remember. And then we're walking on the street. I told him, I said, you see the people houses here? You see any fence around the people houses? Like 10 feet tall fence with barbed wire and thing? He's like, no. I said, you can walk anybody? Yeah, right? He's like, yeah. I said, but in Liberia, you think you're building fences to protect yourself. You got yourself in prison. Because you people create the system. Yeah, you got all the barbed wire, you got that fence where taller than your house. You got yourself in prison because of your own mentality. Yeah. So you're afraid for people to come. You think you're sleeping good. You're sleeping good.
Yeah, but look at it reasonably, Mark, because they didn't get the money correctly.
Yeah, so you stole from the people, so you're afraid for the owner to come and take it back from you.
So, but when I drive along the country road here and see the farms, and then I see a farmer, white man working hard again. And this is the guy who went to school, he got education. He's an agriculturist, and he's standing there working hard, all his clothes dirty, but looking the guy, yeah. Of course, you know the farmer, they are the richest people in the country. Looking the guy, yeah, you see the car are parking, you believe it. Then look at it, he get about 2-3 tractors.
Let me tell you one funny story now. I was talking to the person here, right? It was a female. So I'm like, I think they were coming back home. Say, the country harder, they think we're coming back home. What you coming to do here? I said, pepper bene can be high in our country. Me, I want to come start my pepper bene. All the time you stay in Europe, that pepper bene you want to do here? Your friend then come in, they sitting and offer that pepper bene. I say, you know, who's the richest person in Sweden here? The richest people in Sweden are putting the agriculture bene.
Yes.
But you sit down there, you can go to Guinea, you go import pepper from Guinea. So if I get 10 acres of land, I'm playing pepper in Liberia, and I make $200,000-$300,000 every 4 months, what's wrong with that?
It will be returning pepper money.
So that just tell you the mindset of our people, because they're not exposed. They know how these things are done, what the benefit of these things. But everybody should go learn a book and speak big English and sit down on the internet where coastal you sweating on that coastal get a how they call it, say the bear.
Well, let me also tell you one story. You know, viewers, tonight we actually having a discussion about Charlyne Brodsky, Councillor Charlyne Brodsky's achievements, and frankly speaking, we didn't know that she's that well accomplished. But let me tell you one story similar to what you told me. When I was in the UK going to school, during my bachelor's program, I always used to see the guy name signing most of those announcement on the board. I would not call the guy name. So I thought he was one of those guys, those professors, those old people that will wear long, wear beard, what can wear that glasses down here, maybe fracking, you know. But the guys, I know this guy well, but I didn't know that him, young guy, he will always wear jean trousers with his shirt. Then you know that the kind of sweater, small sweater with armless, one in the V-neck. With the, they wear a shirt, the car can be outside, but all the guys can wear all the time, you know, and stuff. So during my whole 2 years of bachelor program, after we finished, then I decided to go for the master. So we went 1 or 2 months, and the guy was signing my paper. I know the guy. I think about who this guy is. So they had something called student teachers night out. So we all went to the club that night. And before we went, they made an announcement. They say, "When you go, no teacher business. Everybody be equal, you know." So we went, and then the teachers were greeting people one by one. But the guy knows me well. But for me, I know him, but I know him. So he can say, "Hi, Lincoln." I said, "Hi, sir." I said, "But I don't know your name." He said, "This is Dr. I'll call him." He said, "This is Dr. Anthony Gallagher." I said, "What?" He said, "You surprised?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "No." Then he probably heard my head. He said, "No, you're surprised. I don't even know." He said, "But why are you surprised?" I said, "I thought that one of these people who can fight you us in the hallway, you know, when walking, you see they got no professor on that." He said, "No." He said, "Let me tell you one thing." He said, "You're from Africa, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Which country?" I said, "Like this." He said, "Oh." He said, "Now you're fighting for your masters. When you get it and go back to Africa, you'll be a big guy. I guess you might even have bodyguard, and you know, when you sit in the office, you have somebody to open your door." He said, "Well, let me tell you one thing. Because you know the BB stream in London or in England, they call it High Street." He said, "Go on the High Street. You see, most of the people you see walking. Simple. You know, having a PhD, the guy got PhD. So he said, you know, that's why I let it go simple, because here is a home of education. So nobody cares actually how many PhD you got."
Thank you.
So he said, "But in Africa, when you guys have a bachelor's degree, you are big guys. So I understand why you surprised to see me." He said, "Well, not only you, many people." And this is to point to what you just said, man. That most people, even in Liberia, small beginner, they come from early, and you tell them, say, "Oh, come and go into business." What, me? That's why we got all the trouble with government job. Because in government job, one guy will sit down behind one playing table, also playing bench. He say director, that's a big man. And he got bodyguard, man too got bodyguard, then they got somebody standing to the door. You and I living in Scandinavia. When you go to a supermarket to buy, who can be there to wrap your things? Who can be there to open door for you? But in Africa, it happened. You get one guy leaving a house who can stand the door to open door for all the people that are coming in. You know?
I don't know you have seen a video before. I shared a video with a lot of Liberians, right? About our former prime minister, how they call him again? His name was kind of, so he from the group we call Moderator now. So they had a group of ministers, foreign ministers from around Europe. So, you know, in Sweden here, so they went in this cafe room. It was break. So he drank his Ransfair, Frederick's Ransfair. So Frederick Ransfair, he took a teacup, he got to drink a tea, and he sat the cup down on a sink, and you understand? So everybody take their cup, they put it in a coffee in a washing machine.
Yeah.
So one of the guys came and took the cup, say, who name on the cup? The name on the cup is Frederick Ransfair.
Yeah.
Then he told the prime minister, he said, "Listen to me, you got to put the cup in the machine yourself. Your mother is not working here."
Yeah.
He said, "Go and put the cup in the machine. You think your man working here? Nobody here that your man. Go put the cup in the machine yourself."
And this is
So,
what
and I sent that video. I sent that video to a few Liberians. I'm like, you know who the guy talking to? He's talking to the prime minister that the man should go and put a coffee cup in the washing machine himself. Nobody not come and do it for him. He is said go and do it. But in Liberia, Africa, you find somebody, "Oh, boss man," first thing, you start interviewing a Liberian person, that person will say, "Call me Dr. So and so. Call me." In Sweden, yeah, I call you by your name, who you are. Your name Linfo, I call you Linfo.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
beat
what
me
I always tell
tighter
people.
stuff. But anyway, Berlin, for let's end this reading something that will go to, and
Yeah, our ordinary routine.
the last portion. So,
Yeah.
the last portion is provide food, buckets, soap, and medication for Grand Bassa and few counties throughout the Red Cross. Through the Red Cross Liberia during Ebola and COVID-19. She provide over $1 million Liberian dollars for scholarship and academic aid for Liberian students yearly. So that's the end.
Can you imagine? I mean, this is a young person. Charlyne is just barely in her 40s, okay? And she's doing all of this. And if you look at somebody like this, who is doing all of this thing on her own from her own pocket, she had never worked in government before. So if you bring person like this to government, you know what they're going to do? They're going to no, they're going to look at the welfare of the people. Man, let me tell you one thing. If you get free money that you're supposed to give out to people, compared to if you get your own hard-earned money, you think which one you give out to people first?
Linford, nobody that work for a hard money will just give him money all of that. I tell you the truth.
You got to love to do it.
Yeah, that person have to love to do it, and they must know the reason why they are giving that money or in the first place. But any man who steal people money, we ain't work hard for the money. You misuse that money any kind of way, or you use it any kind of way because you get feeding for that money. He know how that money came in, and at the end of the day, that kind of person also doesn't use that money wisely. They end up being broke because it's not money that they suffer for.
Of course.
How many people, country, former speaker, then former minister, then they work in the past government. Today, they are desperate to come back to power.
Yeah. That's the only place. This is where the UP thing comes in. You think if that here, I'm in the Abade party, okay, the Labour Party here.
Yeah.
When the party leave power, they relax. They're not coming back to suffer to struggle with young people that are coming back in the party. No. See, but Liberia, you and your grandfather are gonna be fighting for the power, for one small office, because that's the only place they can get money from. See, they take government to be the place to get money. You and say the government depends on us. The work we do and the business people, the taxes they pay, that what sustains the government. See, you think if you're working in the private sector, you will leave it to go work in government here? No. You got the private sector pays well. The only thing about the private sector is that they can go conclusion at certain time. They can say, okay, we'll pull down with the money. But if it is a good company like that company that are established forever and ever, amen. You can work there, you earn more money than government. But again, this is the country we find ourselves in, and this is something special about Liberians that we don't know it's a pandemic, some disease, and how we'll get a cure, we don't know.
Yeah.
But quickly, our time is fast spent, so maybe you can give a closing word and then we can get out of here because we'll be here on Tuesday again. And this time we'll be on the radio. And we'll come back on Tuesday. We'll be on the radio in Liberia.
Well, I just want to say, thanks to our many listeners that are listening to the program and for tuning in today. And I want to say thank you, Brother Linford, for the program today. And wish everyone a blessed weekend. And Charlyne, we're going to continue discussing Charlyne, even though we don't know the fixer 2 yet, but her name is one of the names keep popping up here and there. But anything is possible. And she served as a, people say role model, right? But as a real model. Yeah, she served as a real model to a lot of young Liberians. Look at a lot of our young Liberian daughters out there that this disease in Liberia has taken over them. People, children that you never used to hear that they smoke, they drink alcohol, but today they are getting destroyed. Our human resource is getting destroyed. And this girl, she's an example. This lady is an example. So I encourage a lot of Liberians, do not get carried away by the desperate deception. Yeah, because there are many of them, desperate deceptors. There are many out there that they're not going to talk anything positive or say anything positive about this girl, but just to confuse our people, that our people will continue living from hand to mouth, and while other people just come over and they're their family, they enrich themselves, and the ordinary Liberian man is suffering. So we come here today, some of us, it's not that we want job in Liberia, no. But we feel what the Liberian people going through, because here they also come back to us. Every month, you got to go into your own money. You send no less than $300-400. It are not friend or family. They're not friend or family. They're not friend or family. But just imagine if you got a good government in Liberia. Look at Rwanda, for example. Rwanda, Limfo. You went to Rwanda. Okay? Liberia is 100 times richer than Rwanda.
Oh, yes.
When I came to Sweden before, there were a lot of Rwandese in Sweden. But look, just in 15 years' time, 18 years.
We're fighting to go back.
Okay? All the people, they're going back now. They're going back. The same thing we talk about. Look, China. I can remember when the Iraq war was starting. By that time, China was not part of the World Trade Organization. China entered the World Trade Organization between 2002 to 2003. But look at China today. Look at Vietnam. Look at Thailand. Look at this area.
Yeah.
Look at Liberia. The country we call it Dubai today. Who used to hear about Dubai then? But look at Liberia. Those the people used to hear about Liberia way back. Liberia. Gabon then.
Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Something can come to it. Look at the people living in the middle of the desert from nowhere. Yeah? The people plant trees. But man, look, it has to do with the mind. Trust me.
At one time, I was telling somebody they want to talk about, Sweden, blah, blah. I'm like, look, when Liberia was exporting iron ore, by that time, oil said we're not making money compared to iron ore. But up to today, nobody can tell us how much Liberia benefited from the iron ore exported from Liberia, from the Lamco, Buchanan, the Lamco, Yekepa. How much we benefited, how many 100 million or how many billion we benefited. Okay? Then from bombing our different group in bombing. Yeah. How much we benefited from the iron ore that used to leave, because in the morning the first train load will leave. Sometimes Liberia will go commit suicide on no train track and thing, Point 4 Junction or Bomber Bridge area. People go make sacrifice. How much we benefited, how many billions of dollars we benefited, we don't have no record. What was the whole deal with the iron ore business? We got no financial record. How many millions of dollars or how many 100 million or how many billion dollars? But these countries that imported iron ore, Sweden one of the company, because Lamco is a Swedish-American company. These people make trillions of dollars out of Liberia. Sweden is one of the richest countries when it comes to iron ore in Europe, because all the ore Sweden was taken from Liberia, they store them.
Yeah, they deposited.
Okay, they deposited. But Liberia is one of those string tracks those people were using was only just for extracting mineral from us. It was not for human consumption. So when people hear, city government gave Liberia 2 million, hey, Liberia, we are the higher taxpayer, I'm like, shut the hell up, man. What are you talking about? People get $2 million, just a drop in the ocean, not even drop in the bucket, because a drop in the bucket, you will see a drop in the bucket, you will see the wave, you will see the water shaking, right? But drop in the ocean, you can see nothing, because the ocean is wide. You don't see where the water said drop. People come back to oil again, they come with a new same bogus group they call Cllr. How many $1 billion what we got from there? The man call himself investor. The man take your own money, turn around, you buy equipment, and he say the man are investor. Investor or what? And Liberia, we have to stop selling our whole stock, in the sense that when I was, curiosity got me to refuel stock. I did a little bit of international trade, right? So, for example, you Linford, you in Nima County, you raising cows, right? Then Sano County is a different county. Then I come to you, Linford. I said, Linford, my man, yeah. Every year I want to buy 200,000 cows from you. Instead of you, Linford, saying, my man, yeah, what you going to do with the cow? And then asking questions, you understand, some curious question. Then I say, oh, my man, yeah, I want kill cow, sell cow meat for my people, this and that. Instead of Linford saying, my man, yeah, I can sell the whole stock to you. I got to create job for my people here too. You don't have to kill the cow, I do the packaging, or no deal. You'll find out that man will come right back to you to say, Linford, yeah, okay, let's have some compromise. You will kill the cow, But the packaging, we want to do it there. Linford will tell you, say, no, my man, we'll divide the job 50-50. You take 50% of the job, I take 50% of the job back. Or hey, I can sell my car to you, different people want my car.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
But we are the only people that always export our livestock. The same thing happened with the Firestone. Today, we get even rubber plastic we produce in our country. Plastic bag we're not producing, slipper we're not producing. The same thing happened with the steel. We're supposed to be one of the steel producers in West Africa. Because we rich in iron ore. But all the ore being exported out of the country, then we buy steel. Get in Nigeria. Nigeria send her oil to Morocco or to Indonesia, then they import petroleum.
Yeah. And I think this is a problem that we got. Mismanagement, miscalculation. Can you imagine that a third man will give 599 years contract for rubber plantation?
No, they're not third men. They're Edwin J. Barkley and Charles D.B. King, the two boogers.
So you got to know that in the next 20 years, your children are going to school. The generation that you have to be tapping, it will reduce.
For $2.50 an acre. Not even say for 1 lakh, $2.50 an acre. That Ellen Johnson King said in the contract little bit, they made little improvement.
During the war, I lived in Habel. I had a friend who was one of the superintendent. That guy took me around Habel. That's a whole country. That plantation is a
And I'm coming, Brother Linford. Do you know how many trees is planted on an acre? Let's just say 400 trees. And the tapper go to tap the 400 trees daily. You know how many toilet bucket that person get from that rubber on a daily basis, and you time it by month? From just 1 acre, the man make tens of thousands of dollars a month. Then you give the people who get the play, you give them chicken change.
Can you tell you a short story? When we're living Habel, here where the stars will live, right? They will have a radio station because they all left. So I was living in the house of the accountant. One guy called Sasha. One Indian guy. So the guy had one room downstairs where he had most of the documents. And I was looking through the thing, I saw something unfortunate. Where the guy and the wife were on holiday, they were spending more than $3,000 a night. So it happened that certain time of the year, the guy they decided to come back, and fast was decided to come back small. During the war time, I told him between 1991 and 92. So the guy came to check to a house. He saw that the guy was clean because he had palm farm and pineapple farm. I used to tell him to clean it and call the farm and clean the place. So he stopped a little piece of paper on the door. He said, "Please come to the guest house and meet me." Sasha. So when I came, I said, "But who is Sasha?" So I almost told the people, but I took it. Then I said, "Let me get, because the guest house was not far from me." I went there looking for Sasha. Then I saw this small tag Indian piggy. He said, "Oh, you live in that house?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, yeah, that's where I was living." I said, "Oh, you." He said, "Yeah." So he said, "Yeah, sit down." The guy ordered some beer, was drinking. When the guy must start talking, you know what the guy told me? If I asked him, I said, "But why you want to come back?" He told me, he said, "No, live in the house. I'm not coming to live in that house now, but we just coming try to start things working small. I said, "But why you want to come back when war there is still war here?" He said, "You don't know." He said, "When I left college, first year was my first job." He said, "After we left, we went to America, I'm working, but I can never have a job that looks the classroom." Then my man ran to that voucher. I saw where the guy work on holiday, guy used the $3,000 a night. Then he said, ask yourself one reason why he said that all the trees in the bush, even the mahogany and all these things, they are expensive, but we don't go to press under them and pay people to take care of them. But that we can pay people to brush under the rubber tree and we put medicine and things. He said one rubber tree.
Thank you.
One rubber tree can send a child if the mother can take care of a child from the day the mother get conceived to the day that child will die. One rubber tree, one. He said, one rubber tree can do everything. Can take care of the child from birth to school.
Kenya that is not producing rubber, Firestone take job and carry to Kenya, they're producing tire in Kenya that we the Liberian win warfare. Then when these people then they get all drop in the bucket, then people jubilating American taxpayer. You know what America benefited from Liberia? You know what people have benefited from Liberia?
But we blame ourselves. Look at the oil. Norway, where they living on oil. Okay, we discover oil in Liberia. What happened? Just in 5 months time, they sold all the oil black to foreigners.
Even our oil block today, has there been any follow on our oil block? The man say he ain't see no oil, but he built rig in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. How sure are you that man are bringing sea in deep water there and low in no shape there? Because your coast guy is not sophisticated. Nobody checking on those people there.
No, Liberia just like car. 1 minute, if the engine get problem, it fix it, then the tire ball. It fix the tire, then they don't drop. So that country, I don't know.
Amen. So, these are the reasons, some of these things that we're talking about today. So Cummins is an eye opener. Some of the fight you see in Liberia, so they got outside forces that know what the man has accomplished and what the man going to do to turn our country around. So some of the outside forces, they fighting that man also. We think that Liberian fighting the man. But some outside forces, they spending money in our country through some of these disgruntled, these desperate deceptor and stuff. They using the people because they know that our people are ignorant, they are naive. So most of our people are not generalized, and most of our people. So for that reason, they spending money heavily on the God and say, hey, that man, we know what that man is capable of. Yeah, we know this man, he will transform things, he will bring accountability. And most of these countries have been riding the country for a long time. My man, if you go into some reading, for example, people that have been riding our country because of the tax code system in Liberia, we got one of the lower tax. Look at our maritime. We ain't collecting our own money. Our money got to pass through certain group of people in certain crooks in America. They collecting our maritime money. Okay?
You know. But anyway, we'll be talking.
Yeah, bro,
until it will drop on Good ES one day. And God himself will intervene in a way that Liberian people will never believe. They will think that they are one, but God is there.
My man, every time these people, I will carry them to our people to way back biblical history. Every time God bring them a leader, they will tell God, say, my man, now the person who want our own say, then when they start suffering, then they go start disturbing the old man. Now how they put them looking? Yeah.
My father.
But Linford, just imagine our country. We have Scobie factory, we have Kenny factory, we have biscuit factory, we have how they call it? Different factories in our country. Okay, chicken soup factory, we have glass factory, all the things. What happened? And some money, later we born so yeah, all that one, all the things damage today. We are exporting sugar, St. Louis sugar from where Maryland.
Yeah.
Eh? All the things we damage the things today we talk about say as well. My brother, we keep on singing the song. The thing that music we turn the record player around, we rewind it.
Yeah, when West Africa will turn it over.
We'll turn it on the other side. Amen. Linford, you have a blessed evening, man. And thanks to our people for watching and listening. Yeah.
Well, my father is Sweden, and this is the program, the Bottom Line. And tonight is being interesting. Most time we talk politics, but sometimes we gotta mix it up with humor and then discuss seriously at the same time. And because this is our country, we cannot give up. Like he said, it's becoming like a song. All kind of continuous singing a song. Somebody will listen to the lyrics, and God himself will intervene. We can do all of the things. God will bring out leaders. We can refuse those leaders. But one day, God is going to say, no, this is the person I want, and that country will change. So let me say thank you, Mark, and to all of our viewers, thanks a lot. We'll be here again with another edition of the program on Tuesday, and this time, hopefully, we'll be on the radio in Liberia. And we hope you can join us that time. But before we leave, we want to leave you with this song from the University of Liberia students, or students to be specific, about the Buddha dancer. When